Thanks. Tim, thank you for the question. Originally, why did the regional district go this route? Very simple. It was a monetary solution to an expedient and immediate problem. That's why. The quotes that we got were hundreds of thousands of dollars different. And the simple solution that the board chose was to have the staff do it. It was intended to be an interim step. And as we know in government, sometimes interim steps go on and on and on. And that's why Gibsons Council really was the burr under the saddle at the regional district and really tried to encourage the RD to move in a more proactive way. Second part of the question, am I prepared to support the current status quo? Absolutely not. I see a much greater role for the private sector, and I have had a number of conversations with both Buddy and Barbara and Norm about the whole issue of ethics, dollars, and public convenience, and encouragement through proper process to get the public to recycle. But ultimately, what we want to do is reduce trash from the stream. We want to have as much as possible a closed loop so that people don't waste so much. And get away from this whole aspect of consumerism. But that's a philosophical issue that we don't have time to talk about tonight. But that's where we want to go. Thank you.
Working in partnership in recycling. I met a few days ago with Barb and Buddy. One of the things they brought to my attention was the cost of this last consultant. He could have bought a machine for dealing with styrofoam, compressing it, and shipping it back to the manufacturer. When we work together as a community, we can resolve these problems far quicker. The consultant didn't provide us with any tangible asset in this community. So I think we have to really think hard about how we pull together. And no, I'm not in favor of government competing with private enterprise.
Thank you, Rob. Lauren?
Before being elected, I was made aware of the inconsistencies in our current recycling system and have constantly questioned costs and advocated for change within that system. And the recycling review is part of that. And you can always criticize the cost of the recycling review. I believe that the taxpayer will get a very good return on that as the system follows the recommendations and reduces cost. And I'm not going to promise anything other than this will be something that is dealt with in budget in the new year. And what we will look for is the most effective way of dealing with our recycling waste at that time. Anyway, that'll be how that flows, but I've advocated for it since I got there. And another great way to deal with some of that would be to tax packaging. Anyway, if that's possible, that would be great. But thank you.
Thanks. I don't believe it's ethical for us to stand up here and say, we've had this review, but we're going to ignore it. I think we need to listen to the results of the review. We've had a citizens committee, we had public open houses, and I'm not saying that the board will necessarily accept everything, but I am not prepared to say today that we will not. That would not be appropriate, it would not be ethical, and it would be a disservice and a disrespect to the process and the citizens in this community who participated in it. So I am not making any statements until I've seen the full extent of the review, that we've had a chance to discuss it. And as Jerry said, I think that we're looking for the very best solution from a delivery point of view, from an end use of where's the product going point of view, as well as from a cost perspective. So there's a lot to look at, and we will be looking at it in depth. I think asking the questions is a really important thing, and not second-guessing the process. Thanks.
Thank you. What is the ETA on that on the review at this time? When's that coming in? Any idea?
Yeah, probably January, given.
Okay. Probably January is when we'll see that review, and it'll be available to the public as well for review, or for copies, posted on the website. Okay, thanks.